What's going on? Hola! It's your boy, Big Rob, back in the house. Welcome to Sin City Crypto. It is Rant and Ramble Sunday. It's Easter Sunday. And if it's your first time checking us out, we do this at my house, in my loft, not in our studio. If you've never seen the show, we got a studio. Come check us out tomorrow. Sundays. Sunday. Man, spring is in the air. It is super nice in Las Vegas. I'm going to hit the garden. I'm going to start redoing my sprinklers, messing with a lot of my herb stuff, trees. I'm excited. That's what I got going on after this. Obviously, I got to build on their show. There's some things I got to take care of for the business side and graphic design. I'll be flying out next week. There's gonna probably be no Rant and Ramble next week because I will be in Atlanta hosting. Me and Big Rob and Big Dave are gonna be out in Atlanta hosting BitBoy's show. So it's gonna be the Sin City Crypto Takeover on BitBoy Crypto. There's gonna be no DZ, no Ben, just Big Rob and Dave just taking over the ones and twos over there. So we're excited for that. I'm excited for today's show, man. I got a lot to say, got a lot to talk about. I am amped up. If you're new to this segment, we brush up on crypto, kind of give a quick overview on what happened over the week, and then that's about it. And then we're gonna go into some personal development, some things to improve in your life. Because hey, man, a lot of us got into crypto because hey, we weren't happy with how much money we had. We didn't have where we were. We wanted a quick fix. We wanted to make some quick money. We saw everyone making money off of Doge or whatever it is, and so a lot of the mentality for mic's a little loud here. All right, so a lot of mentality for people in the crypto space, and I'm not saying this is everybody, but a lot of people got in because probably weren't too happy with where they were, right? You weren't happy with how much money you made, and you wanted to make a quick buck. You want to probably change things around. That's how I got into crypto. I'm living paycheck to paycheck. And I'm like, man, maybe I can, get in this Bitcoin, Ethereum, maybe I put $500 in and be a millionaire, or put $1,000 in and, have $500,000 and, quick, easy money. And, I learned over time that, there is no shortcut. You can put yourself in a position to, get a nice payday. You can quote unquote luck out. Things happen. There are people that get in at the right time, just happen to stumble on the projects or take advice from somebody and just happen to be be in the right spot at the right time. But that is hard to replicate, almost impossible to replicate routinely. And so a lot of us are in a position where we want to better ourselves. We don't want to live paycheck to paycheck. We don't want to be living below our means. And so we got into crypto because we wanted to, we wanted to live in a luxurious life. We wanted great things. And so, hey, man, hard to do it in the structure that we have here already, right? It's hard to do it in this work 9 to 5, invest in your 401k, work in the same job and retire like that. You're not gonna find financial freedom, at least not in that blueprint. No millionaires were made by saving money in a savings account. There wasn't. There's no millionaires out there that took their salary and then just put it in a savings account. No, you don't make enough money. If your average salary is $50,000 a year, you'll spend at least $57,000 a year on bills. If your salary is $100,000 a year, how much are you gonna put on towards bills? $80,000, right? Then you got $20,000 left. Now think about it: $20,000 of disposable income a year. That's just a little over $1,000 a month. Not even $2,000. And so if you're stacking away, let's just say half of that, say you're stacking away $10,000 a year, you're still going to take you 10 years to get to $100,000. It's going to take you 100 years, which you won't live, and at least not in your working age, to get to $1 million. So if you were to save $10,000 a year to take you 100 years to get to $1 million, think about that. So you're not designed in the current system to be a millionaire, be financially free or whatever it is by working that 9 to 5 and saving money. And yet, if you had a financial advisor, or you talk to somebody like, hey man, if you could stack $10,000 a year, like you're doing something right? No, you're not. Like you're not getting anywhere. You're not getting anywhere. What the hell are you gonna do with $10,000 a year? Now, $10,000 a year sound good. Now here, $10,000 a year to us, that's good, right? Because why? Because that's ammunition. It's ammunition for investment. You know, me, I don't even think you should put all of it in crypto. I think you should invest in yourself. You know, that's kind of what we're talking about, is investing in yourself. You know, you invest your time in yourself, you invest money in yourself, and from there, you bring up your self-worth, you can make more money. Because if you're only making $100,000 a year, hey, imagine if you reinvested $5,000 a year in yourself on average, both educational material or whatever it may be. Think about it, man. Turn that 100,000 into 200,000, 300,000. I mean, who knows? And then instead of having just $10,000 in disposable income a year to set to do whatever, you know, you have 20, 30, 50. Because remember, after you get past the original threshold, you only need $80,000 in bills, you know, and living expenses, your car, your area, you know, everything. You add it all up. If you only need 80,000, you're making 100, you got an extra 20 grand, right? But now, if you make 200,000 and you still live at the exact same means, so you still have all the same bills at 80,000, you're making 200. Now you have $120,000 to put into whatever you want, right? So if you double your salary, you're not doubling your disposable income. Your disposable income for the year went from 20 to 120. So instead of saving $10,000 a year, you now have $120,000. You have $10,000 of disposable income a month by doubling your salary. Very, very doable. Very, very doable. We'll get into that in a minute, though. I do want to give a little love. If you guys aren't familiar with how this show works, know that we like to play a lot of music. And so it's Sunday. It's the vibe out here. Crypto Music says, I'm out. Bye. Okay, cool. Thanks for stopping by. So, and I know it's Easter, so a lot of y'all got plans. So we'll see how high this show gets on viewership. And then I was going to get into Theta, but if you're out of here, Crypto Music, it's all good. I'll get into Theta later. But anyways, if you're new here, say hello so we can drop an hola back at you. We got, I think we got a couple of new people I saw in here earlier. Anyways, I'm going to kind of go down the list. And we're also going to play a lot of music today. We're gonna vibe out. We're gonna vibe out. That's right. So let's get. And then also let me know what you guys are. Let me know what you guys are thinking today. If you guys got any questions or any thoughts, you want me to answer something, please don't hesitate. I'd be glad if you want to know more about Big Rob, or you know, if there's some things about crypto you want to know about as well. Yeah, go ahead, drop those in the chat as well. So. Now, all right, let's get this going. All right, so to my new people, say what's up so I can drop an hola at you. We got Crypto Hands up in here. We got Knoxville, Talladega Nights, or Fitness, Talladega Fitness. Felix, also Oren, Corn Operated, Crypto Hands, Luke, Orn, Music, Johnny Two Pockets, Sauce Boss, Sly Raven, Shirley Sam, Fomo Sapien, Paul. We got Mark Young, Tony C, Juan Luis Alamonte, Your Future Hands with Biggs and Boggs, Free with a lightning bolt, Timmy 313, Crypto Adoption, Chance with a bunch of zeros, Timmy Jimmy, Cheerios McGuire, Kevin Cortez. Hola! Welcome to Sin City Crib. It's your boy Big Rob, Rant Ramble. Also got NW in here. Yeah, that's right. Pet Brett, good to see you. Kevin Cortez says too loud. All right, my bad. Turn it down. Yeah, for some reason it's not. Oh yeah, that is loud, huh? For some reason my headphones ain't at the right level. All right, so a lot to cover today. A lot to talk about. And oh, by the way, and GT says Happy Easter. And so I know it's a special holiday for a lot of you. I did grow up in a Christian household, so we've always partaked in Easter. Yeah, Happy Easter, everybody. I will say that the Easter Bunny is kind of creepy, though. Really creepy Easter Bunny, bro. Saw that thing walking around the mall with that giant smile, dirty gray outfit. And Sly Raven says, what's your thoughts on Jasmine? We'll take a look here in a minute. All right, so a couple things before we get into it. What's going on around the globe? Well, a couple things. We talked about it on our Twitter. So we're gonna go ahead right into this. So you have Macaroon, Macron. So the French president Emmanuel Macron said in an interview published Sunday that Europe must not be a follower. Okay, so and on U.S. or China on Taiwan. So basically, he's saying that they should keep their hands off. I on one hand, I kind of agree. I won't get too far into politics or opinion or what a U.S. or Europe should do. But for me, is it our responsibility to police other nations' conflict? And should we fly military and weaponize our monetary system to punish people that don't align with our views? Remember that cultures are completely different. If you've ever been to any other country other than the U.S., or if you're not in the U.S. and you visited other countries from your home area, especially when you go to a different continent, you really start to see the differences in social upbringing, and you start to see that there's just different ways the world views just everything. Whether it's politics, whether it's hot button issues, how deep is religion, how long has a government been more I guess you could say freedom or open-minded to some of these trending topics when it comes to suppressed people. I won't get too far into detail, but there's just a lot of different ways there's a lot of different views from different cultures, and not everyone's going to align. Actually, most countries shouldn't align. Just have very different heritage, and so for U.S. to think, hey man, we don't think that's right, and every single country out here, every country on the globe needs to agree with us. And if you don't, we're going to punish you. You don't support us, we're not going to give you any money. Because what's happening in China, that's not right. I'm not a fan of China. I think their government's oppressive. I'd rather be in the U.S. I think I'm not advocating for it. But what I'm saying is that what's going on in China, what's going on in Russia, what's going on in Middle East, what's going on in Australia, what's going on in Thailand, like what's happening in other countries. I think we should take more of a hands-off approach. And the fact that we're the go-to police for anything that doesn't rub right with America, I think is put us in a tough position. Because now everyone expects us at this point to have an opinion, have a view, and take a hardline stance. No longer can two countries have a conflict, a disagreement, without the U.S. stepping in and being like, and everyone going to the U.S. and Biden like, well, what are you guys going to do about it? Why do we have to do something about it? Now, I know with Taiwan, I know with China, there is this major point where you have semiconductor production there, which essentially goes around the globe. The U.S. is heavily dependent on it. China's heavily depending on it. So there's other factors than just geopolitical events and about like the history of Taiwan and China and that's a separate issue. But overall, just thinking about what's being said here is that Europe must not be a follower. And I don't think they should. I don't think anybody should blindly follow U.S. I don't even like U.S. policy. I don't like the U.S. policy. I'm not a fan of it. I think our politics are extremely corrupt. I think that when we switch from one political party to the other, Democrat, Republican, massive change happens. And do you expect the entire world that every time we go from Republican to Democratic president or political party or the House representatives or the Senate, once they switch, you just expect the entire world to switch with you? No. And so the idea that all countries have to align and do what U.S. says, or else we must oppose what's going on with Russia and China. I mean, we must oppose what's going on with Russia and Ukraine. Otherwise, we're going to be pissed off. We're going to sanction you. Or we're going to now it makes sense for countries in Europe, right? I mean, think about it this way. It makes sense for countries in Europe because, hey, that's in your backyard and should be concerned, right? But if you're Brazil, for example, why on earth must you stop buying oil from Russia when you got nothing to do with that conflict between Ukraine, Russia? It's not even on your continent. You don't care about the U.S. and Russia's like beef. But now all of a sudden, U.S. is like, Brazil, you cannot buy any oil from Russia. Like, what do you mean? Brazil got nothing to do with the whole damn thing. And so now we're seeing the same thing in China and Taiwan. Europe is all like, look, man, like, that's China and Taiwan's thing. And y'all are arguing over an island because of semiconductor production. So this is what's happening. And I just feel like we should have a more hands-off approach. I really do, man. I really think we should have more of a hands-off approach because now we're expected to take a hardline stance, send troops, support, sanction, take people off the SWIFT system. It's getting out of control, man. Kevin Cortez says this is dumb. Move on. Yeah, it is kind of dumb. Yeah. But this is a pretty big topic today. So you're starting to see that countries are not following suit with the U.S. And it used to be Europe was step with the U.S. Like everything the U.S. was doing, Europe used to like, hey, we follow. And now we're starting to see that deviation. So, all right, taking a look at where we're at in crypto as well. We got Bitcoin coming in at $27,897. And so not too much movement in Bitcoin in the last week. Taking a look at, let's see here. You got in the last 7 days, you can see we've been trading sideways right at 28,000. And we've been here for quite some time. So we know what happens when you consolidate for long periods of time in a certain channel without too much movement to the up or downside. When you break out, eventually the breakout is substantial. So I think the next breakout will be 30K. Not to say that we couldn't pull it back down to like 25. It is possible, but more than likely we're going to get down to, I think we're going to break out to the upside. So I think 30K is on the table. So we also got David up in the chat. So good to see you, brother. And then let's get some music going on here. So, all right. So yesterday, and then I will say, taking a look at the some of the biggest gainers, we do got stacks up 4%, injected protocol up 2. Other than that, not too much in the green. In the red, we got a few projects. We got Frax, Chili's. We have Lido as well. Bat. So all of these are down over 5%. So a little pullback in the alts today. So just something to keep an eye out for. But one project that did not pull back as much as I thought it was going to was Sushi Swap. So Sushi Swap down 3.7%. If you didn't catch any of the news on Sushi Swap, they did have a bug. So they got drained of some liquidity. They lost $3.3 million. So this only affected users that traded within the last 4 days. So a bug on the smart contract on the decentralized finance protocol Sushi Swipe led to over $3 million in losses in the early hours of April 19th. I was doing some research on this. It seems like it was mostly from one user, and there is claims that this was done by a white hat hacker. So it looks like a lot of these funds might be coming back to the affected users. So here is the smart contract here. It was, within 1 hour, it was the 3 million was drained before the bug was removed, or at least that part of the protocol was patched up. We have Sushi's head developer, Jared Gray. This is also known as the head chef. He urged users to revoke permissions for all contracts on the protocol. So that was kind of a big, right? It was like, hey, revoke all contracts. Like basically they were just saying he was asking all the node operators, liquidity pool operators, and everyone just to kind of like, hey man, till we fix this thing. And this is only for over the course of an hour, just to kind of shut it down. So Sushi's route processor 2 contract has an approval bug. Please revoke approval ASAP. We're working with the security team to mitigate the issues. And you can see here that Jared says we've confirmed more than 300 ETH from Coffee Bay of Stifu's stolen funds. They're in contact with Lido's team regarding 700 more Ethereum. So it's 1,000 Ethereum in total. And you can see that they went into a little bit more, but apparently this has been resolved, and a lot of it was a white hat hacker, apparently or supposedly, and so they're getting the funds back. So yeah. So I don't know, man. I'm not. I don't. If you're gonna, my thing is that if you're gonna use one of these decentralized swap programs, I'm not a big fan of providing liquidity. You got that kind of bread laying around, you want to make some money. Hey, there's a lot of money to be made there, but obviously there's risks. There's no shortage of articles of people getting taken advantage of people borrowing and manipulating prices to drain liquidity. Seems to be a very common issue. So for myself personally, if I'm going to use a DEX, I'm just going to get on and off, and that's it. I'm going to swap, remove. Usually when you swap it, it removes anyways, but I just want to get in and out, have very little exposure when it comes to DEXs. I'm not a big fan of the DEX tokens either. Sushi Swap token, it's just for governance. Same thing with the Uniswap. And so I don't find much value or utility outside of what it's intended to do. Most people or a lot of people that get these tokens, especially when the DEX is hot and it's got new users, they just want exposure just to speculate on price. Could there be price movement there? Sure, but I don't know, take it with a grain of salt. Now let's see, if you guys got anything to say in the chat, let me know. Would love to talk to you guys here and get your thoughts on all this stuff. So we got Vindaloo here as well, Mike John, Pet Brett, Jerome Powell, Meninja as well, and then who else is new here? If you're new, say hello so we can drop an hola bag at you. We got Stereo 2 up in here as well. That's our producer, Antonio. He says, happy Easter, chillin' gasm as well, Dylan. So to all of you, hola! Welcome to Sin City Cribdown. All right. So a couple other things. Let's take a look. So today's a historic day. So what's going on with the price of Bitcoin today? And let's take a historical look at all the other Easters. So the first Easter of Bitcoin in 2012. No, that's not the first day. Anyways, I guess when they were starting to track prices. Anyways, here you got $4 in 2012 for one Bitcoin. Think about that. 2013, it was 190, 400 bucks. It didn't. Think about this. You didn't get over $1,000 till 2017. That wasn't that long ago. That was 6 years ago. So any time before 6 years ago, you could have picked up Bitcoin for less than $1,000. Think about that. Think about where we're at now. I think we're going to be saying the same thing 6 years from now. 6 years from now, we're going to be like, man, at any point in time, 6 years and beyond, you could have picked up Bitcoin for under $100,000. Right? Think about that mentality. I think that's where we're going. So from 2017 to 2020, all Bitcoin was still under 10 grand. And now, you can see where Bitcoin's been at. So the last, we have had two pullbacks. So, you have 58,000, 42,000, 27,000. So, kind of breaking the trend here because I haven't seen us go backwards in a 3 year period, right? So, something to think about there. And then I want to get into the meat and potatoes of our show. And Timmy says today is Lifer's birthday. Oh, that's cool. So Lifer's birthday today. Well, let's make sure we say happy birthday to old Lifer. You know what? Let me go see if he's let me see if he go to his Twitter. We love Lifer, man. He's on our show all the time, man. Lifer. Let's see here. All right, let's see. Let's go to the Lifer's page. All right. Oh yeah. He said it is his birthday today. So let's show my boy right here some birthday love. All right, we're gonna. He's looking clean in that suit. So looking clean in the suit. Happy birthday. All right, here we go. All right, and then we're gonna get into it, right into kind of some of the thoughts on personal growth. I know a lot of y'all came here for crypto, man, and I get it. We're the crypto, but this all ties in self-motivation, getting yourself in a better position, reinvesting yourself into developing yourself long term, making more money, have more disposable income. Then like that, you can invest more readily in a crypto project. So, and a lot of this is, I know I talked about it last week. It is kind of therapeutic for myself to discuss my journey because, I came from a dark place where, I lied, cheated and stole, and I was a crappy person for a while. And, it took me a while to wake up. And so I'm just kind of sharing my adventures and kind of my process on how I got to where I'm at. I'm by no means an expert or the model citizen for turning your life around, but you know what? I've made significant improvements in myself. I now have more disposable income to invest in crypto and my personal business and in myself. And so I'd like to share that with you guys. And, if you guys, get any value from it or enjoy it, by all means, let me know. Let me get some olas going off in the chat here. And so, if you guys are having a good time, you're having a good Sunday, you're enjoying the stream, put a hola and I'll lead the charge in the chat. I would love to see 88 holas. We got 88 people in here. So yeah, join us. So this was from yesterday's UFC. So I want to kind of lead off with this. If And if you haven't seen this, this is with Israel. This was the fight, the UFC middleweight division, and so this was a lot of UFC fighters and just a lot of champions in general. They have this same like drive, right? It's just about like work, set your goals, be disciplined, and you'll get essentially what you want out of life. And so it's always kind of inspirational to hear other people when they try so hard at something and then they get it. Anyways, this is from last night's fight, from the press conference, from when they throw the microphone in their face. So yeah, let's give this a listen. So there you go, man. That's what we need, bro. You see people over here just busting ass all damn day, and then it pays off, right? And what he says is that he's like, if you don't ever try, you're never gonna get anything great, right? You don't ever put yourself out there, take on some risk, and take on some challenge. You're never gonna do anything great. You want to be the ordinary ass, mundane, live your life, sit in a cubicle, to say yes, clock in and out. That's what you want to do? Then take zero risk. Keep that 9 to 5. Go make somebody else a bunch of money. Make your Fortune 500 company that you work for, or your multi-million-dollar company, or your franchise that has 6 or 7 different locations, or whoever it is. Go make them money. Because the guy that is writing your paycheck, you know what? He took some chances. He went out there, he mortgaged the house. He went out there and he quit his 9 to 5 job. He took some risk and he listened to his family say, "What are you doing? You're being stupid, man. You got a cush job. You got insurance. You got kids, and you're gonna quit your job with insurance. How are you? What happens if your kids get sick?" You don't think that people were sitting here like rambling this shit into somebody's ear? And that's the thing. Like, you want greatness. You gotta step out there. You gotta go take some risks. You gotta take some chances. And if it don't work, cool. You learn from it. You readjust. You go a different direction. It's life. We're meant to for something great here, man. We're meant for something great. And it's just like, a lot of these people just the institutions, the community, society, they don't want you taking risk. It's always the same thing. Go get a good job, get a good career, worked there for 20 years. Like, that's the thing, man. American dream, baby. Like, don't do anything weird. Don't do anything crazy. Be comfortable. Don't be too outspoken. Be nice and humble to everybody. I'm not saying that you shouldn't have these characteristics, but you should also be a warrior. You should also, not get walked on. You should speak for yourself. You should stand up for others. You shouldn't try to please everybody. You should go out there and bust ass, man. Make people fear you. We live in a society that, like, we're told, like, don't intimidate anybody. What happens why are people intimidated? Because of success. Don't be successful because it might make people feel bad. Right? It's crazy to me, man. And I'm waking up all of this, and that's why I maybe I'm in my own little world, but I'm waking up to this, and I'm like, man, society's got us down, man. And so I just want to, like, talk to you, man. I want to talk to you, and I don't know, man. Even if you got your stuff together and you're getting out there, you're changing your life, then good. Maybe you just need a little more motivation, man. I don't know, man. I do. I feel like my head's on good, but I gotta digest a lot of other people's scenarios. It helps a lot, man. I always ask myself, I'm like, are you gonna live a big life? Like, are you gonna live a big life? Are you gonna go down as a hero? Are you gonna leave like an epic story behind? Because you're writing the script of your life, which is this story. It's this movie of your life. You're writing it. Like right now, you're living that. You're the main character in the story, and like the greatest stories, the hero has a normal start. Maybe Spider-Man or Iron Man or Rocky or Gump from the movie series, whatever. These epic tales, these big stories, these adventures, and people change themselves. The best stories come from the average person, the mundane person that's stuck, the underdog. And if you live your life like you're the director of a movie, and you're zoomed out, you're director of the movie, and that person that is you is the main character, and just, how would you direct that character? How would you guide that character? How would you write the script? How would you write that screenplay? How would you say, like, hey man, you should do this? Because I'm pretty sure that screenplay doesn't have, hey, just work here for 20 years and we're gonna film this. No, that's a shit story. Now, just like any great stories, you must go through chapters and chapters of struggles. It's like every tale, there's this period in the beginning where you are discovering the character, and you're going through these adversities, and you're seeing, a lot of relatable things. Like, we relate to that. We relate to the struggles that is life and the mundane characteristics of it. But all the best stories come from the main character in hardship, that boring life, working in that cubicle. The beauty of these stories is when you're waking the fuck up and living life to its full potential, right? I mean, COVID taught me a very valuable lesson, that you don't need the traditional system that we've been accustomed to clock in and out of every day and go to work, and you work towards a retirement, and your 15 days, and the only thing you got looking forward to is that 15 days of year, that vacation, right? You're miserable for the entire year, and then you got 2 weeks, and you're like, oh yeah, I'm going on vacation for 2 weeks. If that's your mentality, your life sucks. Dead ass. You need to wake up. I'm not looking forward to any vacation, because every day, this moment now is what I'm looking forward to. Not looking forward to taking a break. Not looking forward to taking a break. If anything, I'm looking forward to tomorrow. I'm looking forward to putting in more work. And when I didn't work for 6 to 8 months with that COVID thing, that's when I realized that the world still operates, the world still turns. I still have my house, I still have my family, and I realized that not working for 6 to 8 months, the world didn't fall apart. That's kind of when I woke up and I was like, oh, nobody wanting to work, everything's still functional, everything still works around us. I realized that this system that we've built, society's built, perfected this American dream that you must go to work, you must have a 401k, you must save for college, your kids must go to college, and I realized that it's all make-believe. It's not real, right? It's just what society wants the ordinary slave to do, and person clock in and out and have no ambition, try to squash ambition, but periodically they give you a glimmer of hope by saying you can do anything, but don't take risk. Work your 9 to 5. It's like they want you to do things that are exciting to you, but you're only going to do those for 1 to 2 hours a day. They want you to be like, hey man, you need to start this project, you need to invest in yourself, but only do that from 6 to 8 o'clock and then go back to work. And then you sleep. Get that out of my face, man. Get that mentality out of here, man. I don't want it, man. I don't need that, man. I'm so happy that I'm not in that routine anymore. I'm like working towards a goal, right? I'm so happy, man. you know, 50 hours a week plus kissing ass to your boss, pretending like you like them, pretending like, you know, you're just selling yourself, bro. Like that's crippling, right? You got this guy or woman just disrespectful to you, doesn't, you know, it speaks to you and like you're a number or whatever it is, and you got to be like, thanks, yes, absolutely. Like, how was your day? It was great. How was your day? Like, a fake ass life, man. How fake is that shit, man? God. And then I realized that I don't need the crap to do whatever the hell I want. You know, to live a below average lifestyle, do whatever the hell you want. To do how many people were so bored out of their mind and they picked up a new hobby during the COVID thing. How many people start a new hobby, right? Start a new project. Why do they do that? Because they unplugged. They were forced to unplug, right? They were forced not to go to work, do the 9 to 5. And all of a sudden you started like picking up habits that you're passionate about. That's why everyone was like, what was your COVID project? You know what your COVID project was? That was like something that like inspired you, something that you like doing, something that you now you have the time to do. Like, that's the shit that you should be searching for to do as a career, right? Whatever it is, you know, gardening. Me, I was streaming. I was like, yo, this is cool, man. I like this. Fuck the 9 to 5. Everyone had a new project in a COVID break. Everyone had a story of something they wanted to accomplish during COVID. Hey, I built this, I cleaned this, and you know, me and my wife played this game. My family, you know, our family spent more time. Like, if that's what's important to you, then make that the reality. You don't have to clock in and out. Don't. And then yeah, I just, it was you know, everyone talks about COVID like it was a death sentence, right? I don't know. People, it taught us a lot, right? It taught us a lot about ourselves. It taught us about we don't need this like system that we have. I mean, you can go chase your dreams, and the world won't collapse if you quit your 9 to 5. We didn't work for some time, man. Things still rotated and operated. You know, we were sitting here, the society's crumbling. I think the government's gonna collapse, and you know, something, you know, that, you know, everything that you knew before was changing in front of you, and you didn't know if it was gonna go back to normal, and stock markets are crashing. It was all this uncertainty, you know, and we came out of it. Came out of it, man. We were allowed to fly, got a taste of freedom. You know, we're like a caged bird, right? You got out, you got a taste of it. You got to flap your wings. You got out there, you got to fly. Then everything went back to normal. The mandates came down, and then we got put back in that cage. We got a taste of it. We got a taste of that. At least I did. And from that moment forward, I was like, I was so much happier without being stuck in a system. How can I do that permanently? You know, how can you do it permanently? For me, it was trust the process. So I set up a process. I identified my goals. I identified what I wanted to do to get after it. You know, I'd heard it. You know, I'd heard it. I heard that phrase, trust the process. You know, that's big. Trust the process. I never really like thought about like, you know, for a while, I never thought about like what that meant. Trust the process. You know, I heard it hundreds of times. So for me, it's just a phrase. At least it was just a phrase for me for a while. And one day it clicked though. I was like, oh, that makes sense. Perhaps I didn't understand what trust the process was. But trust the process. Why do we say that? Because the process in the moment doesn't show the intended results. When you think about like working out, each curl, each bench press, each push up, you don't see your muscles grow, right? It's not like you do the push ups and all of a sudden, you know, you're that much stronger. No, but if you trust the process and you know if the process, you know, if you do it twice a day or once a week or 5 times a week, you know that you're gonna see the results. And you just got to trust the process. But you don't see the results in the process. Waking up early, working late, like those things might not seem like it's paying off right away, but working that second job, going back to school, studying, the certifications, the process of learning, building, cleaning, achieving your goals, like it doesn't pay off in the moment, but if you work at it consistently, if you bust your ass every day while others are working, while others aren't working and they're sleeping, going out with their friends, it's gonna pay off, man. Just trust the process. And DJ Flexa says the gym especially. Yeah, the gym is always, if you're looking for what process, repetition, structure, and how that translates into real life, just look at the gym, man. It's no different, man. It's no different. You want to lose weight? You know what you got to do? Burn more calories or eat less calories. It's one or the other. It's very simple. But if you trust the process, you're going to see results. You want to gain muscle? You trust the process. You'll see the results. That's it. Excuse me. So, real quick, I'm just going to take a quick moment to say what up to my people in the chat here. We got David A says, getting Stranger Thing vibes from the music. We got a lot of 80s music, which got a lot of that Stranger Things going on. We got Motivate Me, words to live by. Thanks, man. Space Chick Crypto up in here as well. Also, Remedasia Joe. And then who else is in here? Why You Loud's in here. Good to see you, gang. And Brian Ferris as well. So to all of you, hola! Welcome to Sin City Crypto. I wanna talk about putting in that extra work. And LD Zuno said, "¿Qué pasa?" What up? So one time about putting in that extra work. I don't think that gets talked about enough. We got this idea that 9 to 5, right? 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, right? Banking hours. That's your typical work week. I realize that you want to get things done. You gotta put in more than 9 to 5, bro. You gotta get after it. You got so many hours in a day, right? You can sleep 8 hours. You can sleep 6 hours. If you sleep 8 hours, even if you get your nice rested 8 hours of sleep, you still got 16 hours, right? That means you could theoretically work 2 jobs, right? If you wanted to, or you could sleep 6 hours, and hey, that 9 to 5 is usually Monday through Friday. What about a Saturday and Sunday? What about those days? So working that extra day a week. So working that Saturday or this Sunday, you're getting an extra work day. So for me, I'm like, hey, I want to get to this point, right? I want to get our channel to be the largest cryptocurrency YouTube channel out there, period, end of story. Like no second best. Like that's my goal. It's not my life goal. I think it's an attainable goal that has a lot of milestones to hit before you get there, but it seems to be a good spot to aim for. It's not my life's work to be #1 YouTuber. I think my purpose as of right now is to reach as many people and discuss the benefits of cryptocurrency and how it can change people's lives for the better compared to the traditional system. And so that more or less is kind of my direction or goal. But I'm behind, right? Right now, I look at my analytics, our numbers for our channel, and hey, man, we got 8,000 subscribers, or not even yet. We're almost at 8,000. We're about 40 subscribers away. So let me see where we're at. If you're not subscribed, subscribe so we get a little closer. So let me see where we're at. We are at 7,953 subscribers. 47 away from 8,000. So #1 YouTuber is Coin Bureau. So let's see, Coin Bureau. Anyway, so he's the biggest channel. So anyways, he's got millions of people, millions of subscribers, and we're at 8,000. So I got a lot of room to catch up. He's got 2.25 million subscribers. So he's getting close to, so he's got 2.25 million subscribers. I'm at 8,000. 8,000. So I got a lot of room. I got a lot of room to catch. There's a lot of room between first place and where we're at now. We're at the back of the pack. And so for me, I gotta bust ass. I want to catch him. I got a lot of making up to do. He's been at it for a while, and I need to catch his ass. So what am I doing? I'm working. I ain't taking off Saturday and Sunday. So think about this. So you work that extra day a week. You work Saturday or Sunday, you get an extra day of work. So you think about this mathematically. So you get that extra day of work. You stretch that across one extra day of work. You stretch that across 52 weeks a year. So you're getting 52 extra days at working at your craft or your career, your vision, compared to somebody doing a 5-day work week. So you add that up. 52 days a year. I got 10 and a half more work weeks in this year than you do. So I got 10 just by working Saturday. I got 10 more weeks than you do. You got 52. I got 62 weeks. Now, if there's a competition, you got a head start on me, more experience than me. You got more talented. You got a bigger team, just more smarter, more intelligent. Hey, I'm gonna close that gap. If you're working 52 weeks, I'm working 62. I got 52 more days on you this week, this year than you do. And then now that's the start. I want it bad. I want it fucking bad. I'll sacrifice anything. You know? I'll sacrifice everything that's not necessary for my goal. So it's not just Saturday, it's Sunday. It's both. There's no day off. Because that 10 day, that 10 week, that extra 10 weeks that I get on Sunday too. So now instead of just 10 and a half extra weeks, now I got 21 weeks. 21 working weeks by working Saturday and Sunday. You know? That's in 104 days. So you're working 300. So out of the 365 days a year, you're working like 200. And if this is a competition, you're working 200, right? You're working 200 some odd days a year. You're taking days off on Saturday and Sunday. We ain't talking about holidays. And now I'm working 365. Now, it doesn't matter if you're smarter, bigger, you know people, you went to college. I'm gonna catch your ass. I'm working. If you're working 200 days, I'm working 365. I'm gonna catch your ass. I'm gonna pass you. Right? And and then when anyone that's running stride with me, I'm gonna widen that gap. You're gonna try to keep up with me, you gotta put in the 7 days. You ain't gonna catch me. You're gonna have to put in the 7 days. And don't stop there either. Now, as we said, you sleep 8 hours, you work 8 hours, and you drive to work in the store, which maybe is an hour, 2 hours, whatever. You watch TV for 2 hours. That's it, right? That's your typical work day. Not me. I get 5 to 6 hours of sleep. Quick meals, no video games, no TV. Gives me time for 2 8-hour work days. It ain't easy. It's time management, and I have to count for every minute. 5 minutes of wasted time can derail my whole day. I have to be a master of my schedule, a master of the program, a master of the process. Because the crazy thing is that I'm not a calendar guy. You can ask David when it comes to the show. Like, he does all the writing, all the prep work, all the structure. I'm not good at physically writing it down. I have a hard time. And so for me, I'm a mental organizer. I organize my appointments, my meetings. So I'm not the calendar guy. So I have to plan my day, and in my head, it's all in my head, like all of the things that I'm planning. And you know, I have to revisit and reorganize my day, repeat what I'm gonna have to do over and over again. While I do this in my car, I'm talking to myself. I'm like, okay, leave the studio at 12:30, camera store at 1:15, lunch at 1:45, video editing at 2:45, like the gym at 4 p.m. And I keep repeating it over and over again through my day. And while most put 8-hour workday, I'm putting in 16. And you stack that on top of that Saturday and Sunday. Now, the typical person's working at 200. I'm working 365, and then I double it because I'm working two days a week, 2 days a day. Do I take days off? Sure, I might take 1 8-hour shift off. I'm still gonna work that other day though. So I'm gonna put at least 8 hours of work in a day. And yeah, man, I mean, it's just about maximizing yourself, right? That's it, man. Maximizing yourself, putting in as much work as possible. You know, that's it, man. And the answer is simple. Like, you work hard, you work harder, and hard work works. It fucking works. I set the tone, I set the bar, I work harder. All the competition either has to come to my level, or I close the gap on people above me. Hard work works. It's about the grind. Who wants it more? You want it, you got to put in the work. Championships don't come easy. Ain't nobody gonna give you shit. You gotta go out there and take it. You just gotta put in the time, cut the noise, cut the damn noise, and just go to work. I don't know, man. A lot of people in the chat. I got some people here. They're like, why aren't y'all talking about crypto? This is what we do on Sundays. So on Sundays, we just kind of like to just unwind, talk about ourselves a little bit, listen to music, talk about our journey. So East Bay J says, appreciate the 7-day grind, brother. Salute. Rob loves what he's doing. Working 7 days isn't bad. I mean, that's the thing, man. If you're working at if you're working at your craft, you're doing something that you enjoy, you don't mind working 7 days, right? If anything, you know, you get excited about it. Get excited about the progress. And so if you find yourself miserable and upset about like going to work, you're like, it's Monday. Like, it's doo-doo, man. It's time to wake up, man. I just really hope you don't look forward to the weekend just because you don't want to work. Right? You don't want to work, then why are you doing that? You can do anything, man. You don't have to have an expensive house and car. If you're an artist and it doesn't pay that much, hey man, get a small apartment and do what you love. It's simple, bro. If you like teaching kids, you know, the teacher's salary ain't that much, but you want to empower the world by spreading your knowledge, like, cool, man. Take that budget and make it work. You want to start a business or your own craft or whatever? I mean, if you're set on being a millionaire, you can do it. I mean, you know, we all got the check ready. We've all written the check out. We all have $1 million check in our back pocket. You just got to sign that motherfucker and walk into the bank and cash it in. We all have the power to do it. It's all about a mentality. And if your mentality is like, I can't ever make $1 million. I can't quit my job. I don't know what my parents will think. Well, that's going to be you then. You're gonna live that boring ass life, man. And for me, I ain't trying to be ordinary. I'm trying to be extraordinary. I'm trying to write this book of life. I'm trying to leave my lasting impression. I got 2 kids. If I were to die tomorrow, I want them to be like, damn, this dude was out here doing it. I don't want to pass away and my kids be like, Yeah, I mean, my dad, he worked a good job, and he was a good dad, and that's the end of the story, right? Nah, I want to leave a legacy. And why can't you leave a legacy? Right? Because life is essentially not about your accomplishment. It's just about the journey, right? It's about the journey. It's about putting in the days, putting in the work. That's the best part, man. Let's get into the chat. So, guys, if you're new here, say hello so I can drop an hola at you. We got Blockchain Dude. We also have Ham City DD. And to all of you, hola! Welcome to Sin City Crypto. Also, Cheerios is saying, is this a crypto channel? He says, some of us have great jobs already. Here's the thing: if you got a great job, I mean, get higher up in there, man. If you have the privilege or the luxury to be in a field that you love, and you got a job that you love going to, you should be the hungriest person in there, right? Because think about the other people that have the job. Because I don't care what job you have. There's always complainers there, right? So you got a job, just the same person next to you, right? You got that you got a job. There's that person next to you. They got their head down. They're always complaining, right? Don't matter how much money you make. They're like, man, today sucks, man. This person did this and this happened, and you're just like, and then next thing you know, you're saying the same thing. Hey, I got some. Right now I got a great job, right? I do this channel, and then we this channel, the Sin City Crypto. This is an expensive operation, right? We have a studio, we got a lease, we got camera equipment, I got enough subscriptions for video editing and all this other stuff. I got so many subscriptions. The subscriptions alone is a mortgage payment. Dead ass serious. I got 4 different accounts for Adobe. I got 3 different accounts for streaming software. I have like 5 different programs for video editing, all this copyrighted music. Like, it costs money. And so for me, I gotta pay for that. But this is my life's work. And so I do a 9 to 5 at nights, and that pays for my business. That's one of my 8-hour shifts. But that 8-hour shift, that job ain't for me. That job is my business. Because my business operates because of the money I take from there. We ain't got no sponsors. We gotta turn the lights on. We gotta buy new cameras. Things break. We got to go to conventions. We got to fly. I gotta raise that capital. So part of that income is from my second job. Digital Asset DJ says, why 4 different Adobe licenses? Because you can only put Adobe on 2 computers. I mean, right here, just in my loft, I have 2 computers. I got my laptop and I got this one. And so I need a video edit on both. I need to do thumbnails on both. And then my graphic designer, he needs to edit videos, so he needs one. Dave, and then we have at the studio, we're gonna need to create videos throughout the day as well. So in the studio, our studio PC's got Adobe on there. And then David, if I can't get to a thumbnail, he needs to have it on his computer. Same thing with Rocco. Remember, you gotta. These subscriptions aren't just one subscription and then an entire office of people can use it. No, this is one subscription for 2 computers, and each person that works in the office has at least 2 computers. So think about that, and then all these subscriptions got to go there. So for me, it's I got to put in the work. I gotta go to work, and I gotta invest in this in this studio. And the funny thing is that these people don't believe, bro. These haters out here, they don't believe in us, bro. These people out here, nobody believes in us, man. My parents are like, don't quit your job. What are you doing? How's your YouTube thing going? How's your crypto thing going? And I can see that snarky ass remark. Cheerio says plenty of open source software. Yeah, it's also about convenience. So for me, I'm in a boat and I'm like, hey, if I can spend $30 and I get software that we can all easily use, interchange, we're all in the same software, it makes it easier. So sometimes it's better to pay for something than to save a buck to do something that is paid already does, right? And so for me, I can, with my Adobe, I can edit audio, I can edit video, I can edit photography, I can make graphic design, all in one platform, all in one subscription. And then I can take my video and I can bring it over to the Adobe Audition, which is the audio part, seamlessly, because they're all part of the same program. And then I can pull out thumbnails. I can do graphic design right out of videos, and the same. It just makes it way more convenient. And you can just the same way with streaming software. Like we pay for our streaming software. I could use OBS, but OBS doesn't have the features that some of this video production software has. And some of those are, you're not going to get this. You're not going to get an industry level video production software for free. You're not. Someone has to build it and include new features, and and then on top of that, you also get support. So I can call somebody. Like if you use open source software, you're never going to be able to like call somebody and be like, hey man, I'm trying to do this and I'm trying to integrate this, but I'm having troubles. Like, what would you do? And so, yeah, it's pretty convenient. Yeah, and then if I could save time, like Jonathan Nicholas said, if I could save time, it saves money. And my thing is time. Like I 5 minutes wasted here or 5 minutes wasted there is extremely beneficial for me. We also got Stick in here, and if you're new, say hello. Digital Asset Degen as well. Hola! Welcome to Sin City Crypto. And then let's see here. Yeah, so for me, it's, a couple things. People were doubting, people were hating. And I tweeted yesterday, I'm like, hey man, watch out. Sin City Crypto is coming to knock down some doors. Oh, by the way, I want to give a big shout out to Alex Koo. He gifted out 5 memberships. So, my man. Thank you so much, man. We appreciate you, Alex. I know we don't see you too much on the lives during the week, but I just want to say thank you. One of our sinners here. So we also got Dennis J saying hi, Rob, and Pet Bread as well here. I already said earlier. The Crypto Keeper. He says he works 80 hours a week to get the most money he can invest, and I've been investing a lot of money, and we'll continue. Say that's good, man. You could work 40 hours. And have X amount of disposable income, or you work 80 and have a lot more, and then every extra dollar earned is extra dollar you can invest. If you're getting 10x's out of your investment portfolio over the next 5 years, every dollar turns into 10. And so something to think about. And then we also got Motivate Me up in here as well. So yeah, some other things, some other happenings in crypto, just to kind of give an overview on some of the things that happened. Twitter, they took down the Doge. They took the Doge off of the logo. They went back to the traditional Twitter logo. So the bird is back, and Doge is at 83 cents. So, I'm curious if it, or not 83 cents, 8 cents, 8.3 cents right here. So I'm curious to see where Doge will get. I still think that we're gonna get some kind of a announcement with Doge and Twitter, perhaps some more integration. I'd like to see Doge at least go to tipping. Right, you can tip in Bitcoin on Ethereum, or you can tip in Bitcoin on Twitter, and I think Doge will probably be coming soon. So excited for that, and then. What else? You guys got any questions? What are y'all doing on this Easter Sunday? I'm just curious. What's your plans? Planning on working on my garden. I planted a pear tree. I'm excited about that. I see a lot of things blooming back there. My Zinfandel grapevine. That one is blooming, or not blooming, but it has the leaves. Big tree has leaves now, and so excited about that. And who else? We got Anthony Barbacoa up in here. He says he tests elevators during the day and then Uber and DoorDash for an extra $300. The extra $300 goes to investing. And that's cool, man. I mean, that's, you grind now, it's going to pay off later. Jessica says she's going to be cleaning her house. Come by and clean my house too if you want. Ain't going to stop you. You're in Las Vegas. Free says working on my homework while leaving to you, getting my master's in 3 weeks. Full ride. Dang, here we go. Boy, Free here got a free full ride. Oh, he's getting his master's. Okay, that's cool, man. And then Pet Bread says he's you know what? Actually, I have this. Let me pull this up here. Browser chat. There we go. And here we go. So Pet Brett's doing the windows in the house. The snow will finally be gone this week. And Marco drops that hola. And then Joanna Nicholson says the bird is the brand. It is. But that brand was established by Jack Dorsey. And so now that Elon owns it, it could rebrand. Just saying. I don't think it's likely. Twitter tweet, obviously, that comes from a bird. But Stick says he's heading to the family's house about to destroy some pigeronis. Pierogies. I said pigeronis. So I got a bird named Larry. So I call him a little pigeon. Especially when so Larry's always got his little perch. And so he sits up there and he eats bird food. And then sometimes when he runs out of his bird food, instead of being on his little poles and perches, he'll just walk around on like the platform. And so I'm always like, oh, he's like a parking lot pigeon. Just go out here just searching for food. And then let's see who else. He said, I have 2 at ASD, 9 and 10, who are 24 hours a day, no weekends or nights off. Hats off to you, And then Rob, use a bird as a symbol for Sin City Crypto and get Elon's attention. And we could change the logo for Sin City Crypto to Larry for a weekend. And then Alex Koo says he's diagnosed his friend's computer. Random reboots. Are you a computer guy? Because I might be reaching out to you. I build our own computers. So at the studio, I've been putting off this workbench, right? And so because we fund everything ourselves. And we have a lack of income coming in, and anyways, money's tight. So we have a home PC, but it's a high-end home PC. It's it has the latest graphics card and the highest computer chip and the most expensive motherboard. Not the most expensive, but basically we got a $4,000 PC we put together. But it doesn't have the same capabilities as a workbench, as a PC built for production. And those are, about twice the amount of money. Just the computer chip alone is $5,000 to $7,000. And so, it's interesting trying to squeeze every ounce of performance out of a home PC to do production PC level work, and it's tough. The 4090 for video editing is good. For video editing, it's about, and this is what Pet Brett says. So he said it got a 4090 for video editing. We have two 3090 Ti's. The video, the graphics card isn't our biggest bottleneck or roadblock. Video editing, it's the RAM, but and in our production PC or PC for our show, it's about PCIe lanes. So anyways, we're trying to hook up a lot of things. We got capture cards and graphic cards and Ethernet cards, because you can't rely what's on the motherboard. So you have to put third-party stuff in there, and we just don't have enough performance out of we don't have enough throughput on the home PCs to power all of that. So Crypto Baby says Larry coin. Well, you know, which is funny. I wanted to see what the process was to make to launch a crypto. No intention, zero intention of making a meme coin or making, but I wanted to see what the process was, writing a contract. And so I made a Larry coin, right? And so let's see. Oh, I can't remember the name of it. What was it? It was Quaker Coin. I think it was QuakerCoin.io. Was that what it was? Let me see. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, so I went through the process. Look at this. So I went through the process of creating a Larry coin. So that's my bird Larry there. And so, welcome to Quaker Coin. Quaker Coin is a project founded out of love and fun for an adorable Quaker parrot named Larry. Look at that. And then join us and help take decentralized finance to the next level and break away from the traditional monetary system. Collect, trade, and spend your wealth in a cute and fun style way. I'm trying to figure out what links do I have in here. Is there any links? No, that's it. Right. So yeah, there you go. There is a Quaker coin. And there's actually a smart contract for it. We went through the process. It's kind of funny to learn how to do that. Obviously, there's nothing we ever talked about or tried to offer to anybody as any kind of project or whatever. But just something. Yeah, there you go. So there is a Quaker coin. So there you go, Jessica. And then Steven D Hoop says BTC pump or dump. I think we're heading up to 30,000. I think one bullish article or one like really big like breaking news away from a big rally in crypto. We've been consolidating for quite some time. We're destined for a breakout. Jimmy says he's listening with the headphones. Enzo's working his double pay of Easter. So, and then Timmy's dragging the kid around in the wagon. I went and saw the Mario movie yesterday, man. That was so good. Man, talk about like nostalgia, right? Like that thing was good. And so Anthony's doing that Uber driving for financial freedom. He can do whatever he wants. He hates elevators. So there you go. And even if you have a job you don't care for, when you quote unquote hate, sometimes you're gonna put yourself in a harder position by quitting. Now, some people, if you're young and you don't have a lot of financial responsibilities, hey man, quit, dive, go do something else. If you don't have those luxuries with because you don't have any kids or whatever else, you can you have plenty of time in the day to chase your dreams and do something else. All about time management. Sleep an hour or less. Don't sleep 8 hours, sleep 6. You get 2 more hours to get things done. Stop watching so much pointless television and movies, and get some stuff done. And then who else? Oh, we get some music going on in here. And then let's see. Alex Q says almost every mid or high performance GPU is okay for 4K video. Yeah, we have you know, we're actually 4K video for our studio. We're 100% 4K. All of our cameras, our software, everything's designed that way. We only stream 1080p though. A lot of it's for throughput, but we like to have the capabilities for future proofing. And you also get zoom qualities when you have 4K. So for us, we can film in 4K, and because we do a 1080p out, or streams 1080p, we can do a 4x zoom digitally and not lose any quality. And so we can, you know, we can have one cut. Like here's an example. Right now I'm filming in a 4K, right? And I'm streaming out at 1080p, I think. Let me see. What am I streaming out at? Yeah, I'm streaming out 1080p, filming in 4K. And so for me, here's an example. I can zoom in. This is a 2x zoom here. I can go to 4x. This is a 5x zoom, and it's still not losing any quality here. And so think about when you're with these cameras, you can buy these expensive lenses to zoom. All the lenses are like $1,000, or you can just get a 4K camera, or even a 5 or 8K camera, and then you can digitally zoom as much as you want. Don't have to buy the extra $2,000 lens. So we got Knoxville, and then say hello, guys. So we're gonna drop an hola back at you. Just kind of back and forth, Q&A, just talking. I do got this zit here though, whatever. 4K camera ain't doing me no justice, you know what I'm saying? So then we got Gonzo in here. Good to see you, Gonzo. Thanks for joining us. And then yeah, so back to the Mario movie. So Mario movie review, bombers. We're doing what bombers do. They can't get past Chris Pratt. Go watch the movie, enjoy it. Did the reviews not come in good for that? Yeah, what are the reviews for Mario? I thought it was great, man. I thought it was so well made. It had the good comic relief, lots of references to a lot of Mario games. It had the Mario feel, yeah, I really enjoyed it, man. Let's see what the reviews are, because I grew up as a gamer, man, and I played all the Mario games, and I don't know. So it says box office smash so far as the turnout. I think we're gonna get a lot more the same way that we got. Think about this: the same way that we got the. Remember when Spider-Man and Batman and these movies, they were just coming out maybe once every like 3 years. And in the past, they weren't coming out like 5 or 6 action movies every year. It used to be that you had like one Spider-Man movie, and then you waited like 4 or 6 years, another one come out. Same thing with Batman. You'd get a Superman movie once every like 8 years. Then all of a sudden, they just kept pumping these things out. And so I got a feeling that with this Mario movie, because when I went to the theater yesterday at noon, 12 o'clock, I took my son there. This thing was so packed. There was so many people in there, and I'm like, wow. And so I think they're probably gonna do a Zelda movie. By the way, I would love to watch that. Crypto Crabman says Bowser's story didn't align with the games though. Well, here's the thing. A lot of Mario, there wasn't a lot of story into the Mario's characters, right? And so one of the few things Bowser was known for was that he wanted to marry the princess. I think outside of that, I don't know much of Bowser's story. So I don't know if there's some books out there or some other material that I'm not familiar about, but Yeah, man, I feel like it was a good clean slate on who these characters were. It wasn't much of a background on any of them. Gonzo said he grew up in the 90s, and he said if you grew up in the 90s, you loved it. Yeah, I thought it was great. I'll tell you what, there was a Mario movie and the real life Mario movie that was an absolute atrocious bomb, bro. Mario Brothers movie. That thing was with it was like, who was in there? It was the Hispanic dude. What was his name? I forget. Don Linquist, right? Oh god, that thing was so bad. Anyways, yeah, what a terrible movie, bro. And yeah, so compared to what we had before, way better done. Like, I think the animated, the CGI animated version, way better. Yeah, John Linguizamo. I don't know how to say his name, but all right. And then what else we got? And so let's see here. We got Anthony says Gala Games or Veracity should get involved with these movies. Yeah, so I think if it looks like Mario is gonna do what it was shaped up to do with the box office numbers, it's probably gonna be one of the biggest grossing movies this year. And if that's the case, you're gonna start seeing a lot of video games come out with their own movie, and maybe we're gonna have a Grand Theft Auto. Perhaps we'll get what are some big franchises? We had there was the action adventure game Uncharted. Yeah, that one came out. But I think some of these nostalgic ones, I think Nintendo is going to have a long running series of movies. They have a lot of content, man. I'm telling you, between Zelda, what other big games are there in Nintendo? You have Mega Man. Now Mega Man's kind of fallen out of favor lately. And wasn't Stereo 2 in the old movie? He does fit the part, and then Armand says, hola, that like button. Yeah, where are we at in likes? No, 97 likes, not too bad. We have 97 viewers, 97 likes. A lot of people came in, like movie, left, or like the stream. And then get some more music going on in here. So yeah, I'd recommend go checking that movie out. I enjoyed it, and might be a good Easter Sunday thing to do with the family. You go out, you get the eggs, do your thing, and then maybe after Easter dinner, go catch the movie. I'd recommend. It was pretty popular yesterday. I'd recommend go getting your tickets in advance. But it was a lot of heartwarming, nostalgic moments. A lot of Easter eggs in there. You'll if you pay attention to the background, and in the movie, you'll see a lot of references from other games. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. It's some pretty good comic relief. You had Bowser, played by Jack Black, one of my favorite actors. And I thought Chris Pratt did pretty good. I mean, here's the thing. You can't do an entire hour and a half movie in the Mario voice, the traditional one. Hey, it's me, Mario. You can't do that. How annoying would that be? If I had to listen to it, it's cute, it's comical in the game. But if you had to listen to that for straight 2 hours of this, no, man, you had to have somebody have a normal Italian accent voice. Even though Chris Pratt is far from that, but he did a good job. I thought he did a good job. Everyone's hating on him, but and then also he says, "Yep, the Zelda movie's gonna slap whenever it hits." Bro, the next Zelda game. Okay, so I've taken a break from playing video games because I want to focus on Sin City Crypto, getting this thing up, and I don't want to waste any hours doing that. But I will be taking some time. I got to set aside maybe a week to get this new Zelda game going. That comes out, I think it's in May. And so May, the new Zelda, I forget the name of it, but I gotta get it done, man. I gotta play that thing. I'm a big Zelda fan, so really looking forward to that. I really enjoyed Breath of the Wild, the last Zelda game. That was one of my favorite games ever, period. Just a great adventure. You know, it's almost like reading some of these adventure games when they're really done well. They tend to be almost like reading an epic novel, you know. And so, you know, if you're pressed for time, you might be like, hey, I don't have time to read a science fiction book, but sometimes it's good for your personal, you know what I'm saying. And then, yeah, Pet Bread says 2 hours of Mamma Mia. When Nintendoverse. I'm curious. Yeah, I think. Wait, here's the thing. If you get a lot of mainstream movies coming out from the video game side, I would imagine that you're going to get more interest in video games and monetizing. On the same way that you saw, what was it, Angry Birds go from just they had their own movie, they had a clothing line. You go to like Walmart, there's like all this Angry Bird merchandise. Maybe not so much now, but maybe 5 years ago there was. But I think we're gonna start seeing that in Mario, right? And Nintendo. So I think we'll get a lot of the. I think we'll get a lot of more Nintendo based content. And if Nintendo's looking to branch out and adopt more users and offer more services, remember, Nintendo does like to break the mold of tradition. And so when they came out with their Duck Hunt with the gun, that was revolutionary. They had the little power pad, the little glove thing. They had the little robot guy. They had the Game Boy Virtual thing, which was an absolute flop. And so they think outside the box. And so perhaps one of the boxes they'll think outside of is blockchain gaming and tokenizing NFTs. And, you know, I mean, it would make sense that Zelda being an open world adventure game that you collect items to perhaps offer those as NFTs in the future. I mean, I could see a situation like that. And I think you can see Nintendo like, hey, like this brings you more value. This brings more depth and more meaning to out there searching and finding. Because when you're out playing an adventure game and you find a rare item, it's rewarding, right? Because you put all this time to find it, but then that's it. After you find it, you're like, cool, and then you put it away, and then that's it. But now if it's a unique item, it's a one of one, it's a collectible, you can sell it, and it give you that much more interest in playing the game. And so I could see Nintendo, you know, getting into that, and especially if they start making a lot of money and expanding out into the movie industry. You know, they're gonna see more opportunities to make money. And Gonzo says Zelda is the first game you ever put hours and hours and days to finish. This is good, man. That the Zelda Link's Awakening or Link from the Past, Link from the Past. That was the Super Nintendo one. That was so good, man. What a good game. Zelda MMO, that would be kind of cool. And then my son's all into Zelda now. Zelda with Leonardo DiCaprio, you know? I don't know, man. If somebody was playing Zelda, I feel like you need like a young character. Maybe the young Leonardo DiCaprio, but not the Leonardo DiCaprio we got now. That's for sure. So, and then what else we got? Pokemon NFTs. I think this makes the most sense, especially because Nintendo, you know, the Pokemon games are under the Nintendo franchise. Man, I'm telling you, man, I think Pokemon is so much collectibles. It's like one of the largest collectibles for cards, and it's on par there with the sports cards, right? Some of these rare sports cards, rare Pokemon, they're right there, man. And you also have video games, and you have items that you'd find in video games. You have Pokemon video games. You find Pokemon cards there. Pokemon Go. I'm telling you, man, if you put Pokemon Go and you put NFTs in it, bro, There was a Pokemon convention here, the Pokemon Go convention in Vegas. There was so many people here for that. Thousands of people travel to Vegas for a Pokemon Go event where they're in a park just catching Pokemon. And so Cheerio says Ocarina of Time will always be the best Zelda game. Ah, man, it was so good, man. Ocarina of Time was so good. You know, the Breath of the Wild, I think, is an overall better game if you were to pick it up right now, right? Like, if you gave a 15-year-old kid Ocarina of Time, and then you gave a 15-year-old kid the Breath of the Wild is a better game. It is. But at the time, Ocarina of Time was so far advanced and so further along in the action adventure and puzzle adventure, because they got a lot of puzzles. There was nothing comparable. Nobody was even nowhere around. And so you were getting a game that was 5-10 years ahead of its time back in the day, where these action adventure games were Contra and this other trash, and you were getting this gem and just stood out that you could still pick up and play today and have a great time playing. And so for that reason, it definitely is probably a better game for its time. But that new Breath of the Wild game is so good, man. And I'm so excited about the new one coming out. You know what other game was really ahead of its time was that Final Fantasy VII for PlayStation, man. Like, that game was crazy, man. Medina says, hey, Rob, what do you think about the future of Avalanche? Is it worth investing in? I believe so. I think Avalanche, you know, I wouldn't go all in on Avalanche, but I think it has a lot of the layer one characteristics of mass adoption and a lot of devs building on it. I think the next bull run is going to be strong in layer ones. And so your Cardanos, your Avalanche, Algorand, maybe even the comeback of Solana, Phantom, Ethereum, Polygon. I think all of these during the height of the next bull run are going to be all 10x's, man. They're all going to be 10x's. I think one or two of them might pop off for 20 or 30x, but I think generally they're all going to get 10x's. So, I mean, that's only 2 years away, I would say. 2, maybe 3 years away. But more than likely, about 2 years from now, for every $1,000 you put into these layer ones, you're probably going to see $10,000 returned. And, I mean, that's what these layer ones are going to... This is where they're going to build those dApps. And so all these dApps that are coming... All these dApps that are getting built, all the freaking cool ones, they're all being built on these layer ones, man. And so last bull market was the rise of the layer ones. Because, you know, just Ethereum was the only smart contract layer one. And, you know, this is an opportunity for these layer ones to shine and really stand out. And so, yeah, and then Gonzo also says, hey, if you're, you know, on the gaming subject, they're gonna get into Web3 and gaming. I think that gaming is a good option, or gaming is a good area for a layer one to get into right now. Here's an example. Banking isn't just all of a sudden going to shift tomorrow over to Bitcoin and crypto. It's going to be a transition. It's going to take some time. However, you could get a quick flip in gaming, right? Think about when a new system comes out. Everyone playing on Super Nintendo, all of a sudden PlayStation 2 comes out, or PlayStation comes out, boom, everybody switches over to PlayStation, right? Everyone scraps the Nintendo. Same thing when the Nintendo 64 came out. You know, everyone had to have it. It was like, boom, it was there. Then you had... remember, because PlayStation wasn't even in the game. It was Sega and Nintendo, and they just came in, boom, dropped the mic. And, you know, then you had Battle Royales just changed the whole scene. And, you know, I could see a scenario where you get one big popular franchise on blockchain gaming and people are making money off of it and it's got tons of utility. I could just see an entire market just swelling up and bringing in billions and billions of dollars, maybe even, who knows, $1 trillion into the crypto ecosystem because of one ultra hyper successful franchise that did it right in NFT gaming or blockchain gaming. And so I think it could be the door that opens. I do think that the strongest use case for crypto is in finance, but it's just a longer process. It's just going to take some time because there's, you know, people are more careful with their money. They don't want to just YOLO into a new banking system or a new store of value, especially if they don't want to take risk with their cash. So with gaming, it's a little different. You can kind of just take more risk and be like, you know, hey, like, let's launch this game. Let's try it here. Like, you can offer products and just kind of shake up the scene. So and then Paxton, don't get me started on gaming. That's right. Gonzo says it's the biggest area of growth. I don't know about like market cap. I don't think it's the biggest area of growth, but I think it's the one that has the most pop from where it is now. And so from how small the gaming is now in Web3 and in gaming, it's tiny compared to where it could get in a drop of like 6 months, a year. You can go from 0 to 1,000, man, in gaming in Web3. You're just not going to see that quick of a turnaround and that quick of adoption in finance. But finance will dwarf. Finance will absolutely crush gaming in the long term. Absolutely crush it. Absolutely crush it. Just because that's where money is. That's where the money moves. And so it's going to have the most money on it. And then Ninja Gaiden, man, that was my jam, bro. Ninja Gaiden on Xbox, that was the hardest game ever. It was Ninja Gaiden Black, I think it was. Dude, this thing. You know, the one that came out on Xbox before, yeah, it was just this game was insanely hard, bro. It was like make no sense hard. Let me see if I can find it. It's just like Ninja. There it is, bro. Dude, this game is gotta be one of the hardest games. I never beat it, man. I played it like 3 times and I got really far. I just could not beat this damn thing, man. Ninja Gaiden, bro. That thing was just crazy difficult. Let me see. There's a Ninja Gaiden Xbox hardest game ever. Oh, here it is. Yeah. So 15 hardest Xbox games. So yeah, Doom 3, Jet Set, Tom Clancy. Is number 1 Ninja Gaiden Black. Yep. Dude, this game was so hard, man. The cool thing about this is that it starts off in this game starts off in like traditional like Japan with like samurais, and then if you didn't know anything about the game, you didn't know what was coming up, all of a sudden it changes and you're like on a blimp and people are shooting rockets at you and you're like still a traditional samurai. It's kind of cool. Yeah, this thing is just I just couldn't beat it, bro. This was so hard. Yeah, man. Good God, dude. But it was so good. Like you had to just keep getting after it and practicing and then trying to get good at it. Did you ever beat it? Minja says you can finish it. But yeah, this was so good, man. Getting into these combos, like you just got beat up, man. It's one of those games you just played for like 5 hours and you just kept dying over and over again, not getting anywhere. But then if you kept doing it for 20 or 30 hours, eventually you got so good at it, you could get through the level, and then it just made you that much better. It was almost like a realistic kind of like life interpretation of put in the work, bro. You had to put in the work to get like skillful enough to beat people with your ninja tactics, bro. It's insane, man. Yeah, Gonzo says it's number one. I never played I never played the Ninja Gaiden on Nintendo, the side scroller version. I know it was vastly popular, but I never got into it. This was my first exposure to Ninja Gaiden, which was absolutely a gem. It was amazing. All right, guys, I am about to wrap this thing up because I got to go to the gym, and also I got to do a thumbnail and some other stuff. So that's gonna be it, guys. Did y'all enjoy today's show? It was just kind of a little everywhere today. I still want to. Still kind of trying to figure out the structure of this show. You know, it's like I want to talk about like personal development. Also, got to talk about crypto. Want to have Q&A. And so for me, it's like I'm just still trying to find this balance, right? This is the thing. Like some people come in here for just crypto. Some people are coming in here for more of a one-on-one, more personal kind of thing. So it's kind of a hard balance to try to figure out. But you know, I've been doing this segment now for about 3 months, and I'm liking where I like the direction it's going. It seems to get positive reviews. A lot of people have good responses, at least in the comments here, that they like it. And definitely a little bit of myself is poured into here and things that I enjoy and I like to talk about. So, and as Gonzo says, it's mindset is very important. So, man, it is. It's a good release for me, you know, coming in here and kind of talking about like, you know, my own personal accomplishments and setbacks, things that I learned from. And so that's ultimately what I'm trying to communicate is that I feel that I'm in a really good spot right now, and I have a lot of clarity on my vision and my goals. And I had a hard time getting to this point. And I had a lot of things that I've learned recently. Just nobody ever communicated that. And so I learned, and I was like, well, how did I not see this? Like, how did I not realize that this is an optimal way to get ahead in life, and this is an optimal way of thinking, and it's something that, you know, you should prioritize this over that. I never thought about it. You know, a lot of it was like, hey man, you gotta be nice to people, fit in, you know, be part of society, do what people want you to do, like make sure you get that good job, and you know, work toward, you know, and so for me, a lot of my recent experiences have come from trial and error, and so I'm just trying to give you my errors or the things that I went through, and so that way maybe it helps some of you guys out, man, because that's essentially why I'm doing this, have this channel, this show, is to help you guys out, not only in traditional finance, you know, getting out of the traditional finance, going into an emerging sector, but also you know, finding some opportunities to better yourself. So yeah, and with that said, I'm gonna wrap this thing up, and that's gonna be it. And so yeah, guys, thank you so much for joining us. It is Easter, it is Sunday. Go out and find some huevos, go out and catch a bunny, go out there and enjoy the springtime, at least here in the southwest. The weather's beautiful. I'm gonna go play in the garden, go work out, work on some graphic projects, do my thing. Appreciate all of you hanging out with me, hanging out with Big Rob. Hola! And next Sunday we'll be on our way to Atlanta, so no Rant and Ramble next Sunday. So take a week off, but make sure you guys come and hang out with us. Make sure you come hang out with us on BitBoy's channel. Be cool, man. I'm excited. Go down to another studio, take over, host the show. You're gonna get Big Rob's opinions all day, every day on somebody else's channel. So it's kind of cool. All right, guys.